Hi, everyone. My name is Sequoia, and I use she and her pronouns. And I wanted to come on for our weekly Jupiter reading. I'm centering Jupiter because Jupiter is the planet that represents and embodies the energy of expansion. And so, with expansion, that can be around abundance, that can be around self care practices, whatever resonates for you, wherever you need to kind of pull in more of that type of energy. That is what we'll be focusing on, during these weekly videos. Um, I want some cards that are not within my reach. So please just give me a moment. Okay. Thank you for that, Grace. So I wanted to pull a few cards for us today. I am definitely a little bit behind with this week's message, but the energy is good for this month. And so I usually try to tie in a new practice, and I do have one. I'd like to read from a daily affirmation book to kind of set the tone for the reading, and then we'll pull cards on it. So, the daily affirmation book that I have within my reach is Black Pearls, Daily Meditations, Affirmations, and Inspirations for African Americans. Again, this energy can be applied to anyone that's viewing this. And so, as identified, I am a few days late, just one, with this reading, but the word from this daily affirmation for July 29th is children. And we think that our children are ours, but they are only our seed. Their reason and purpose has something to do with them, and I don't think we can take credit for that or try to control it. Don Cherry. When we were children, we often had to battle for our independence and individuality. We should remember what it's like to want to develop ourselves free of parental or other outside influence. Our desire to protect and fortify our children is admirable, but there comes a point where we've got to accept and love them for all their wonderful quirkiness. We may see a bit of ourselves, our spouse, or our parents in them, but the total person is one we've never known before. On this day, I will take time to be with a younger loved one, a son or daughter, cousin, grandchild, and let them know that I feel that they have special qualities and that I love, admire, respect, and cherish those special qualities. So, to anyone that's viewing this video, you may have children, and so that may resonate related to an offering around parenting advice, especially around, just the ways that we think about our children, what their needs are in relation to even ourselves. Oh, that's so much better. So, the other piece of that resonated as well, if you don't have children, everyone has an inner child though. And so what I'm getting from, what I just read is maybe you are doing some inner child work or needs to do some inner child work around independence and individuality. Maybe you are feeling as if you aren't seen by people, maybe those within a friendship group, maybe even your own family. Um, you may be struggling with what your identity is within this maybe group context. Again, people, places, and things could be friends, family members, could even be, within a work environment. You're attempting to identify yourself as an individual, maybe even an expert. That's coming up for me too around this. So thinking through, and perfectionism is on the bottom of the deck. So thinking through, our the way that we identify ourselves as an individual, how do we take the time out to cultivate the relationship within ourselves? How do you build confidence, for yourself as it relates to the way that you are navigating group dynamics potentially? So tying that into expansion, maybe thinking through, let's see what's coming to me around that. Expansion, independence, and individuality. What's coming to me is maybe you need to spend a little bit more time. I may not even need the cards. Maybe you need to spend a little bit more time in practices that you feel supportive doing on your own. Maybe there is something that you've been putting off. Maybe there are things that you've been putting off that you can explore by yourself, and that will help build your sense of independence and individuality by doing things on your own. Maybe you should go to a museum by yourself. Maybe you should take yourself out on a date. Go have coffee and go work in a coffee house. Maybe there's something that you want to learn that no one else kind of shares that same interest. But let's see, we had perfectionism and distractions on the bottom of the deck. Yeah. So again, related to expansion, independence, and individuality, I feel like the message, distractions again, indecision, fear, all of that is calling to me. On the bottom of the deck, we got distractions again, indecision, and fear. Maybe you've been going back and forth, about stepping out on your own related to certain things. Maybe you are someone that heavily identifies with collective learning, healing experiences. That resonates for me. I'm an Aquarius, and so I am, more prone to want to do things with groups of people, but I've learned that it's super important to have my own practices, to be independent, to have my own interests and feel confident about that. With distractions, even, groups can be distracting. I was watching a spiritual message maybe about a week ago, and the message was to be careful of groups, collectives, and cliques in this time, because what happens is we affiliate ourselves with a group, collective, or clique, and their mission becomes our mission, their battles become our battles, and it's really hard at times, depending on what the group, collective, or clique is. At times, it can be hard to establish yourself as an individual, to independently think about a particular situation, to independently make a decision about your perspective on something, to weigh in on it. There can be pressure to be the dissenting voice of the group, meaning there can be pressure to go against the group. There may be some fear around something like that based on the dynamics of the group. And that feeds into, again, that inner child message that we started with. Groups, collectives, and cliques remind me of high school. And high school, just in the sense of, those groups, collectives, and cliques being the most important thing, you wanting to fit in, with your friends, and, their battles being your battles and things like that. And also, you know, that isn't a time where necessarily you are kind of building your independence and individuality. You're more definitely figuring out the things that you want and the things that you like, but usually it's within the context of your friendship group. You all, come together and have interests based on, shared things. And for the most part, you are, you know, kind of learning about other folks and what their likes and dislikes are. And again, within the group, collective, clique perspective, it can be a distraction. It can be a distraction. So let's pull. Nothing is just okay. So we got strength. I love these cards. We got strength. We got the elephant there. You may be someone that has tattoos. Okay. And crown chakra on the bottom of the deck. So strength and be you came out. So there are those cards. Can y'all see that? Okay. Strength and be you came out. So I feel like this is confirmation, related to this topic around groups, collectives, cliques, and for you to have strength and be you, to be strong in whatever decisions or perspectives that you have. Fish usually represent Pisces, so you may be a Pisces, but what I'm getting from this is, Pisces is a water sign. Water means emotion. So you may be someone that kind of operates from your emotional side and having strength around, not being fearful to share your emotions with these individuals. It could be, again, going back to the affirmation with children, maybe you need to be strong in your decision about your emotions with a partner or a spouse about parenting and the way that you all are raising your children. Maybe you want to raise them in a different way, than maybe you and your partner grew up, and being strong in that decision and not to be fearful about it, that this person, the person that you've chosen as a partner or a spouse, is strong, and they'll be able to hear whatever emotions, you want to share with them. Again, crown chakra is on the bottom of the deck. I'll show you that card. So that's the crown. The crown chakra represents mental energy. It represents, connection to your higher self, to source, and source could be the universe. It could be your Ori. It could be God. It could be Allah. It could be Ra. Whatever you believe in, your ancestors, right? So just that higher self. We also got a lot of purple in this card too, and that's the crown chakra as well. So yeah, I feel like for this week, the message is for you to be strong in who you are, to not succumb to groups, cliques, and collectives, for you to stand up for what you believe in, for you to express your feelings, whatever they are, for you to not be distracted by any or all of these situations. And yeah, one of the ways that I encourage folks to engage with this particular material, you can reflect on it, you can journal on it, You can do some word associations where you pull out specific words and mind map more around it to check in with how you feel about, what I shared in this message and how it resonates more for you. So some of the words: strength, distractions, indecision, fear, children, independence, individuality. You may want to mind map around some of those words. Um, what else? You could do some art, could collage around this message. Just a few ideas related to how you can engage with this a little bit more on your own. I hope that this was helpful. There's information in the description box below. If you ever want an intuitive energy reading with me or any of my other supportive services that I provide, I hope that this was helpful. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you at our next Jupiter reading. Thank you.